So, good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Madadi. I'm moderating the panel so-called South to North Corridor, a rising gateway to Europe. I hope all of you have enjoyed your second day of event, and it's been really a fruitful one. I would like to thank you, the carrier community team, Mr. Velad, all of the team members from the carrier committee for the real fruitful session this year. Quality-wise, it's been really a good one, and thanks to you and your team members. So I will have an introduction to the panel topic with a few slides, and then we'll take it from there by inviting the panelists or distinguished panelists to this stage to take it further. Can I ask for the presentation to be okay? So for those of you who participated Iran Corridor event back in 8 months, so TIC, as the responsible for all border-to-border connectivity and the backhauling from Iran, started this topic of Iran Corridor since last year in order to promote the transit routes via the country. All of you are aware of the challenges which the market and the industry is facing, knowing the Red Sea and the Suez Canal and all the problems that are appearing these days. And this has been always a topic in the industry, whether there would be a possibility to pass through the region terrestrially instead of going all the way through the submarine cables. And that's how the Iran Corridor concept were born. And the first conference were basically there back in February during capacity time. As a continuation, during GCCM, we have the initiative to run this discussion once again, and TIC is also inviting from all the audience and from the conference members to be part of this discussion, and we will have the pleasure of having part of the members to this sort of consortium and arrangement to discuss this topic further. So Iran has a geopolitical and commercial position within the geography. Being part of the Silk Route, which was the transit for the ancient time, the data would also try to find a short path, like as the previous transit times when it comes to goods and industries. Following the same topic, being at the heart of the Middle East and the Caucasus region, being able to connect the Far East and the Eastern market through the Gulf towards Europe, also the Indian market, and also being a country with 15 neighbors, whether submarine or terrestrial, it gives Iran a position in order to connect the region in a way which is bringing resilience at the same time, also equality when it comes to latency, and for the customers and for the target audience to be able to pass their traffic through in a way which is not facing challenges. We all know, and if you see a little bit of lower on this stage, the challenges that we had recently on the Red Sea, and as we speak, there are still 4 cables down. Since then, which was probably 7-8 months back, the earlier idea of passing terrestrially through Middle East was more basically attentioned in the market. And that's how Iran is also trying to position itself to be part of the same story. Having 4 separate landing stations on the southern Iranian borders, will enable Iran and TIC to be part of this journey by bringing and picking the traffic from the Far East when it arrives to the Gulf region for the rest of the road to be terrestrially going to Europe. A more specific picture that I would like to emphasize on is basically this picture. So if I can address a little bit of lower part of the stage, if you can have a look to that. So the carriers and the traffic coming from all the submarine cables from the Far East and from the Indian Ocean, almost all of them, they touch the Middle East through the Persian Gulf and through the Omani waters. Same idea of picking the traffic from this region has been always in the market for other countries, including Iraq, including Saudi, and same concept also has been promoted by TIC from Iran. Having Chabahar as one of the major points on the Omani waters, Bandar Abbas and Bushehr on the western side enables TIC to pick the traffic from those locations to carry it terrestrially within the latencies that you are having on the picture, very low latencies compared to the submarine route. Like briefly speaking, we are talking about, as expected, 35 to 40 millisecond lesser latency compared to anything from the submarine cables, which will pass through this way through the Red Sea with all those challenges. So the traffic would be picked terrestrially from the country, and then it could be diversified through 3 routes on the northern west side, whether it's Azerbaijan, Armenia, or Turkey. From there onward, your traffic will reach to the Eastern European borders, and then you can pick any location for your traffic to be delivered to. You name it Frankfurt, you name it Sofia, it could be on the northern side, Moscow, Stockholm, London, Milan, Marseille, and any other location within Europe. That will give you an ease and a resilience of connectivity where it was also mentioned here. So we are talking about a resilient network, which is even economically lesser costing for you. So you have all you need in one basket. You have a resilient network, you have a lower cost compared to submarine networks, and technically speaking, you will be facing lesser latency. By having said that, I would like to, and knowing that the time is also a little bit squeezed, I would like to invite our distinguished panelists to the stage and take the discussion further by having this introduction. Thank you very much. Please, Dr. Akbari, Mr. Alper, Mr. Maxime, Mr. Aram, and Mr. Sohail Ghadir. Thank you for joining. So while we're waiting for the other 2 participants to join us, I would like to ask an introduction, I would say, to start from Mr. Maxime. So when it comes to Rostelecom and Russia, we are shining always. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so very good and very wide question, I would say, open questions. Yeah, just to introduce myself, I'm responsible for international wholesale and carrier business and content providers in Rostelecom since quite some years. And just a quick address to the host of this panel. And yeah, so we are long-term partners with TIC. And definitely we can express very good feedback. So towards both TIC and Iranian transport solution, so to say, which we are using quite actively right now. And we've been through quite different times. And I can only tell you that our experience is extremely positive, and we are looking forward to this fruitful discussion. And we are big believers in this service to shine in the future with our humble support. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maxim. Dr. Akbari, please. Yes, we are waiting.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today's panel. Let me introduce myself. I am Behzad Akbari, Deputy Minister of Iranian Telecommunication and Information Technology Ministry, and also CEO of TIC. TIC is a whole carrier sales of Iran and the main backbone and international connectivity provider of Iran. I hope we have a very good discussion on this panel with great panelists. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Akbari. Mr. Alpel, please.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for participating in our panel. It's very important to be here to discuss about the future of the telecommunication world in this region. Let me introduce myself. I'm Alper Güzel, International Wholesale Director of Turkcell Super Online, managing all international data, national data, voice, and roaming of the company, and trying to make company make more money and more profit together with all our partners like you. I've been in the industry for a long time. My journey started at Türk Telecom International, Telecom Italia Sparkle, and I also served in government as well as a General Director of National Technology, Minister of Industry and Technology. And now I'm in Turkcell Super Online, and very happy to be here to discuss and find new opportunities and experience your insights related with what's going to happen next in this region. And as Turkcell, we are very proud to be one of the main solution maker in the region, and we'll go through in our panel as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alper. Mr. Sohail, you are known to everyone, obviously, but it would be worthy to hear it once again from you.
Thank you very much. First of all, apologize. I got a little late. I would like to blame the lift, but lift was only second floor, so it was me. My name is Sohail Kader. I'm the CEO of Zain Omantel International. Little bit about Zain Omantel International. I'm sure we have introduced, but it's a joint venture between Omantel, being the incumbent operator in Oman, and Zain Group, which is predominantly a mobile operator in 7 countries in the region. So it's a carve out of wholesale business of all Zain and Omantel opcos, and then put it into a joint venture. We are obviously working very closely with our partners, and the South-North corridors are very important part of our strategy and our business moving forward. We have been working, myself, I've been working with Omantel since last 15 years, since 2010. 2012 was the first submarine cable that we built between Oman and Iran. And the cable we used to call EPEC, Europe-Persia Express Gateway, which was basically a corridor in 2012 we created between Oman to Iran in Jask. And from Jask, we are going to Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan, we go to Russia, with Rostelecom, and from there, Ukraine and to Frankfurt. So this cable was up and running in 2013. And since then, it's been under operation. Unfortunately, because of the situation in the region over there, the cable is up and down because of the war situation. But more or less, this is the corridor. We are working very closely with our partners in the region, and we believe that this is something that will take us to the next level, because we've been discussing. This is the major discussion in the region today, that we need to create more corridors. And this is one of the corridors that we believe will be very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ghadir. So you just appeared on time, Mr. Basri.
So I'm not the last one, so I will not pay for the coffee.
Yeah, hello everyone. Sorry for my delay. Unlike this delay, we never delay for the delivery of circuits. So I hope you will apologize me. I went wrong place. Talking about this corridor, talking about the opportunities, I would really like to mention that for the last couple of years, we have more and more routes.
Mr. Basri, we would like to know more about yourself first.
Okay, I was thinking Telecom Armenia knows everyone. So, okay, so I'm a board member of Telecom Armenia. I'm in the industry for the last 15 years. We have been the first, together with Mr. Madadi, to make circuits through Iran for other countries like Iraq and Afghanistan, going to Europe. And for the last years, this route has become more and more popular for some of reasons. One of them that we have alternative routes, generally Armenia. And I would say the northern route has always been known as a route going through Black Sea, but lately we have a couple of other routes going to Stockholm and Frankfurt with Russia. We have Rostelecom here, who is one of our main partners, and we have last year made a new border connection with Russia in Lars. And this route is popular because of its stability. Unfortunately, we face a lot of issues. When I say we, I mean our partners and colleagues from the region, recently within the Red Sea and other problems, but I really believe and I see that this corridor will grow. Just as a number, for the last 10 years, we have grown from STM16 to 7 terabits of capacity that we have now together with TIC. That's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Basarian, for the introduction. So, following of the introduction I had on the presentation, and if I may ask Mr. Ghadir to start with, in order to basically start from where we pick the traffic from the south, and you are basically one of the major players when it comes to the region, for the Far East traffic to come to the south and then to be picked, and followingly to be terrestrially passed through towards Europe, where the concept of the presentation is gonna be around. So, my question to you, Mr. Ghadir, would be, what makes the South-North terrestrial corridor a viable alternative to submarine cables passing through the Red Sea and the Suez Canal, knowing that you are also, at the same time, part of those cables? So you have the opportunity of passing through those cables, and at the same time, you have the opportunity of picking the traffic terrestrially to Europe. So as a major player in this field, what is your understanding?
Thank you, Badadi. So the traffic, if you look at the traffic, today Middle East is becoming a hub. I would not say one country, but as overall, I would say at least 3 countries, namely Oman, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates, UAE. These 3 countries are becoming a major attraction point for the content, for the OTT players, cloud deployment. We are having a lot of announcement in Saudi Arabia where AI training data centers are coming. UAE announced today, I saw an announcement from Microsoft that they are investing another $7-8 billion in UAE to deploy their network. So now the content, aggregation of content, clouds, and AI training data centers are coming into the region. And the reason is, one, the stability of the region, and second, the prices on the electricity. If you go to US, you're talking about close to 10 to 15 cents. In some states, it can go up to 20 cents per kilowatt. Anywhere else, either they don't have power, or if they have power, then it's around 10 to 15 cents per kilowatt. In our region, we are talking about 6, and it can go down to 3. There are incentives given by the governments in this region for huge data centers where it can go all the way down to 3 US dollar cents. So a lot of AI deployment, which requires a lot of power, are now focusing on our region and deploying their huge data centers, gigawatt or few hundred megawatts in our region. Now, obviously, all of this requires a lot of connectivity. We were discussing yesterday in the panel as well that per gigawatt, you're looking at close to 30 terabits of capacity. Now, 30 terabits of capacity cannot be filled into one fiber pair. Now, I'll take some time, but just to give you an aspect. So today, if we look at it, there are 5 cable systems that are under deployment since last 3 years, or maybe 4 years. To Africa, a very large cable, one of the largest cable system in the region, or in the world, I would say now, close to $1.7 billion investment. CME-V6, a consortium cable system coming from Singapore going to Europe. Blue Raman cable system, where we are partner in, coming from India, going to Europe, obviously connecting countries in the Middle East. Then we have IEX cable system that is connecting Singapore, India to Europe and passing through Middle East. And then we have another cable system, which is Africa One. We are supposed to land in Sudan, starting from Pakistan, UAE, going to Djibouti, and then Sudan, Saudi Arabia, and then it goes to Europe. Now, these 5 cable systems, roughly, as an estimate, we are talking about close to $5.5 to $6 billion of investment. All of them are now at a stall kind of thing because we are not able to deploy this cable system in Red Sea. So this is not a recent issue. This issue is there since last 4 years. The war in Yemen is going on since last 10 years. So what's happening is, because of one reason or the other, we are not allowed to deploy these cables in the water, which means these cables are not connected. These cables are not ready for service. And you're looking at $6.5 billion of investment of different operators, different OTT players, which cannot move from work in progress into asset, which means we are not able to utilize that money. We are not able to sell those capacities. We are in business of wholesale, all of us. Most of us are in a business of wholesale, which means that we build these cable systems and sell it to other partners, right? Now, this issue has changed the paradigm from without building the cable system we were selling, we call it pre-sales. That is not happening because nobody trusts that these cable systems will be ready in time. And even wherever you have sold these cable systems, there are clauses in the agreement that if the cable is not ready by the end of this year, you have to refund whatever percentage of amount that we have received. So, Madadi, very important point, because this is becoming an issue for the industry, and industry cannot take a provision of $6.5 billion. Even we are talking about OTT players, it's not possible. Now, what we have started using is part of the cable system is ready in the Mediterranean, let's use it. Part of the cable system from Singapore to Middle East is ready, let's use it. But the traffic flow is not that. Traffic flow is Singapore to Europe and is passed through Middle East at the moment. Now, as I said, started the discussion that more and more data centers, cloud deployment, training data centers are coming into the region, which means the origination will happen from here. Replication will start happening from here, which means we don't have connectivity, we don't have cables. In Omantel, we have around 17 submarine cable systems landed in Oman. We have 2 cable systems landed with Ooredoo, which means we have 19 submarine cable systems in a country of Oman. But that's not enough because these are some of the old cable system, maximum pair of fibers, we are talking about 5. So with 5 pair of fibers, you cannot do anything what is required today. All the new cable systems that we are talking about minimum 20 and maximum going up to 24 fiber pairs. But these cable systems are not in service. And for the foreseeable foreseeable time, we don't see this coming into service as well. There is a lot of uncertainty.
So what has been your mitigation to this challenge, Mr. Sohail?
So the mitigation is, what we call it, let's say north to south to north corridors. Iran, as I said, as Omantel, we believed in it. We invested in 2012 around close to $30 million, built a cable between Oman and Iran.
One of the early players in that, yeah.
Close to, and obviously not only us, TIC invested in the network, Rostelecom invested in that network, and our other partner, Vodafone, invested in that network, put it into up and running. But because of one reason or the other, if you look at the internet, predominantly it's US-based companies. The content is US-based companies. 90% of the content on the internet is US-based companies. So for one reason or the other, they were hesitating using corridors. But now it's becoming necessity for everyone. Now it's not that I don't want to use it. It's now I have to use it. So north to south or south to north corridor is becoming an important factor in the connectivity. We are talking about obviously Middle East to Iran and then to Turkey, Russia, to Europe. That's one route. There is a discussion. We have signed an agreement with the Ministry of Iraq as well, where we can reach Iraq and then from Iraq you can cross Iraq to corridor. Other route is Oman, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Syria, and then you can go out to the waters. You can go to Jordan and then you can go out. And obviously you can go from Middle East to Egypt and then crossing Egypt into the Mediterranean waters.
Thank you,
Unfortunately, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just taking a little bit of time, but just to put the perspective. Unfortunately, none of these corridors are well established as of today. There's no seamless connectivity. Like what you see in Europe, I'm landing in Marseille, I want to go to Amsterdam. You will place an order with one company who will be able to provide you a connectivity end-to-end.
End-to-end.
It's not happening in our region at the moment, and this is what at least we are emphasizing that we need to
Very
do
good
this.
point that we have to address it while we're discussing here. Thank you, Mr. Sohail. Thank you for the insightful discussions. If I may continue the route from south and we reach Iran, so if I may continue with Dr. Akbari for the same question. How is it from your end, Dr. Akbari?
Thank you, Hossein. It's a good question. I would like to mention that this corridor, south to north corridor, is not a replacement for Red Sea roads. We believe that it's a complement road for providing diversity and resiliency and also stability we need in today's applications. I think from three aspects, this corridor is viable for global connectivity. First, road diversity and resiliency. As you know, Red Sea is the main road for connecting the South Asia and India and also Middle East, the Gulf countries to the Europe. And there is a single point of failure. That road is a single point of failure for this connectivity. Sure. A terrestrial and land-based corridor across Iran bypass these fragile roads and ensure a stable connectivity between Asia and Europe. The second is performance. South to north corridor across Iran, Turkey, or Iran, Azerbaijan, Iran, Armenia, provide shorter and also high performance, low latency roads for connecting to Europe. About these roads provide more than 30% shorter distance,
Latency-wise.
and also that provide more than 40 to 60 millisecond short and low latency than compared to Red Sea road. Another important issue is the maintenance and recovery. As you know, in recent years, we have some fiber cuts in the Red Sea that cause disconnection and very challenging for connectivity in the region. As you know, the maintenance and the repairing of terrestrial roads, terrestrial cable, it takes a few hours or a few hours, but for subsea cable, it takes few days, few weeks, and few months, and maybe few years. Yeah. We have a fiber cut in the Red Sea more than 1 year, and it has not been repaired right now. I think this road can provide reliable and low latency and stable connectivity between the Gulf countries, the India Ocean, and also Sea of Oman to the Europe, and also other countries in the neighbor of Iran.
Thank you, Dr. Akbari. So, if you may pass Iran, reaching to the northwestern borders towards Europe, I would like to start with Mr. Alper to share his views on the same question, please.
Thank you very much. You know the moment when your GPS in the device says recalculating routes, and you know how it feels when it says recalculating the routes, and you just say, hey, what's wrong now? We were on the path, everything was going all right, but the route is being recalculated. And actually in the last 2 or 3 years in the telecom market in our region, this is what we exactly experience. And the route is being recalculated at the moment in telecom industry, and the new route is probably not passing from Red Sea as it was in the past.
Very nice wording.
Thank you very much. And we just need some alternative way, and here where that north to south or south to north route comes into the stage. Together with the partners to carry all the traffic coming from Middle East and to carry all the traffic coming from India and Pakistan and even further, the whole telecommunication world needs some alternative paths. Actually, from my point of view, it wouldn't be named as an alternative path. It would be better to name it as a main path, because what the telecom industry needs for a better connectivity is, first of all, resilience and diversity. And then we also want to have some control on the route that we are managing. And on top of it, we just want some flexibility when there is some trouble, and have a chance to maintain the cable, maintain the connections when there is something wrong. Nobody likes to just face a ghosting when there's an outage on the cable. So things has to be quick, things has to be fast, and things has to be manageable if we are talking about a huge amount of capacity to be carried from east to west. And also the necessity of digital transformation vision, we really need to have a resilient, diverse, and a high quality working connections in the region. Just like Mr. Kadir mentioned, for sure there are cables, there are systems There are consortiums in the region, but we really have to make them reliable, and we really have to make them go like one-stop shopping, and we really have to make the life comfortable for the customers in the region. And here, that Turkcell Super Online just gets in the stage because for all the surrounding countries in the region, Iran, Iraq, and even in the future, Syria, Turkey has very good border connections. And through those border connections, we are capable to carry all the traffic from the borders to the Europe, and it depends on the route, it depends on the infrastructure, which a country with more than 40 million mobile users use it actually at the moment. So for us, there is no way, there is no option to leave a blank on that missing piece. So we really have to do it in an excellent way that we can. Otherwise, our own business would be affected. Comparing the submarine cables and the terrestrial routes, I just see that the terrestrial routes will be much more attractive, is becoming much more attractive already. That's why we are giving a high importance to this terrestrial north-south route together with our partners. But we also have a lot of homeworks to do, like making the provisionings faster, even making the quality better, and also making it economically feasible for everybody to be alternative over there, because you really never know. So I just want to conclude, when your GPS device says recalculating the route, listen it.
Thank you very much. That was very nice wording. Mr. Maxime, you've been part of this since 2012, like as it was mentioned by Mr. Ghadir. You had a visionary by being part of this route, or looking into this route, probably from visionary perspective. I think we discussed the first topic pretty much good, and I would like to address also a topic which was mentioned in Mr. Ghadir and Mr. Alper discussions. How you think the business model will look like, being an end-to-end provider or one of the players from this route, providing this service on a one-stop shop basis from one of the nodes on the southern borders, or for the customers to target every and each piece of this segment individually. So the experience that the customers have from the submarine is a global NAC, one-stop shopping, a single business model, probably a single company to deal with on a commercial level. How you think building such a route from a business model perspective would look like, and how we have to model it in order to attract or to be a good alternate to the current submarine propositioning?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Mahdi, for the question. So it's a beautiful question. It's actually endless question. So it can be endless, definitely, because we have to take in account different perspectives. Yeah, and the business model is the only like a visible part of the iceberg, I would say. Yeah, so just and the product. And before I will share my view on this, don't be afraid. It won't be endless. Definitely, I'll try to be very short. Just a quick update about the EPEC. So it's in operation. By the way, we rerouted the routes. It is in operation actually, and still, and TAC is still using this very, very old-fashioned but extremely reliable piece of all good EPEC. And talking about EPEC, I think, so you mentioned this as an early experience. I think EPEC was one of very few successful proof of concepts. That's my perception of this project. And proof of concept first of all, from the point of view of like a technical proof of concept, because we managed to create a sort of like actually we still name it consortium. Yeah. So and it still theoretically exists. Yeah. And, physically. So business model wise, I can honestly say that it wasn't the easiest way to manage, commercially. So taking into account that the different geographies, different carriers with different objectives. So and this is one of the toughest complexities here. So and not only commercially but also technically, operationally, and that's definitely a challenge. And this is exactly what differs from distinguishes actually such long haul terrestrial initiatives involving different countries, with different regulations, as I mentioned, different participants with different business objectives, including corporate business objectives, because our business objectives may be different from TSE ones and from Omantel ones, etc., Zain ones, etc. So that's like a short answer is the business model is yet to be normalized, yet to be finalized, and yet to be defined, because and it not necessarily that each and every product will be the same or similar, because in comparison to submarine network, very good point that it was mentioned that submarine network is just like I don't know, like off-the-shelf product. If we would have we would find another $1 billion or euros to construct I don't know, another transatlantic one. Okay, we go to Wikipedia, or maybe ask ChatGPT, so how to build another transatlantic cable. 100% that we will find quite reliable and quite high quality report from ChatGPT, because it's a product off the shelf. When it comes to terrestrial,
something you need to design.
It's something to be designed, and it's all the time handmade. And the last point, which I wanted to share here, is regarding the operation, because sometimes on the early, I would say it, napkin phase of every product. I mean, every project, like, okay, so let's draw a napkin and then develop up to the project. So when you see at the high level in the early stage that the idea is beautiful, that nice people, you can easily work with them, etc., and okay, so let's go forward to create this project. So when it comes to deployment, so and actually we know this because we are the largest land mass in the world, and we operate super long haul networks of many thousands kilometers. Yeah, so our country, you can imagine. So it's from Mongolian border or Chinese border to Europe, it's more than 7,000 kilometers, and that brings completely different experience, because it's like I would compare it with the climate. I will give you some like a climate example. Let's say the Middle East, where we are. So it's not very much like a raining area, right? And then I feel that it's once a year, right? But tough, right? And then it's like submarine cable. It's resilient, reliable, but if it happens, I mean, fiber cuts, etc., then you see the myriads of problems, and then beginning from the technical problems and down to the organizational, geopolitical, and regulational, etc., etc. When it comes to just a final thought, when it comes to terrestrial and especially long terrestrial road, it's like a climate in my country. It's always raining, especially these days. It's raining now actually, and we are used to it. We have a draining system. It's wet, but we know how to cope with this, etc. That means that, like perception to a super long-haul terrestrial network can be. So I mean, okay. So what the meaning of this analogy? Okay, so the same, because the fiber cuts are much often on the terrestrial side, much often, but time to repair
MTTR.
It's quick, and geography matters. You have to think of not only just to draw the map, shortest route, etc. You have to mind metro areas. You have to avoid them. So somehow, like just to, and then statistics and math also is a matter which we have to keep in mind, because when planning the route, you have to calculate the historical data.
Right.
So how many fiber cuts in this area, It's very interesting exercise, I can tell you, and it needs to be clearly and
Carefully
the
designed.
homework is very, very much more important than in
Thank you,
summary.
Mr. Maxim.
Yeah.
Thank you for your insightful discussion. Before I go to Mr. Barsarian, because I know Mr. Alper having a flight at 1 p.m., I wanted to ask him to give his final speech on the business model topic, because I think that's the most important. It was also mentioned by Mr. Ghadir, and we have to be very honest on this panel discussion about the political aspect. So how do you think, if we can have a one-stop shopping approach, or the customer and the audience to this route shall go and purchase every niche segment by their own, or how the business model shall look like for this basically new concept to get promoted?
The business model itself.
Yeah, it's on.
The business model itself should first be capable to reach the customers' economical needs. So far, the industry have been used to have terabits level of capacities through submarine routes, and right now we already have started to offer the terrestrial route as an alternative. And the alternatives are mostly via Iran, and Iraq is an option as well, and
As you
coming to
currently.
Turkey, or going through the north, which Turkey sounds like a better idea, and just reaching the rest of Europe. So whatever they want to pay, whatever they would like to pay, should be still on their business, fitting on their business model. So if your customer is not happy, you cannot be happy eventually. I mean, there should be a win-win case at the end of the day. That's why the quality and the agreements and the consortium models and the revenue share models should be discussed together in a
Similar
very
to the
careful way.
submarine. when they-
Just like the way it has been done in submarine routes. But there is some difference with this model. When there is something wrong, you do not keep your ships wait on the shore for months and months to get the permit. And when submarine is wrong, it will be okay only if those countries which has terrestrial fiber optic cables in the system are okay and are still handshaking. But for the submarine routes that we talk about, there are a lot of incidents which is happening out of everybody's control. Out of everybody's control. And you cannot even just show the contract and say, hey, this is wrong. This cannot be happening now. And I'm losing money. You cannot show the contract to anybody because nobody has the responsibility to take to weight on the shoulder, you know. That's why on top of it, comparing the RTD, response delay times, and the SLAs is the way that it has to be done. So it's no-brainer that everybody in the market and in the region comes together and thinks about the way how to populate this south to north or north to south or even more the northern route to reach the rest of the world. And thank you very much for being here. And I ask my sincere apologizers to run away from here at the moment because there is some plane which I need to catch now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Alper, for joining. Safe flight. Take care. So, Mr. Barsegian, I was looking to the numbers. I was told Iran is now carrying 4 terabit of transit. So, as a result of probably past few years mainly. And when I was looking to the 3 choices that any customer can go for, including Azerbaijan, Armenia, and Turkey, I figured out that probably more than 50% is going through Armenia. Why is it like that? I mean, first, I would like to hear from yourself about the questions we just had and how you see your role in making this into reality. I mean, the whole transit topic and the South-North corridor.
Thank you, Mr. Madadi. Yes, when we come to the question of business model, it's always a big problem because each of us always thinking that we are the most important part of this route. So when it is about terrestrial, there are some models have been discussed even with TIC, which was based on the length of the route, number of equipment used, whatever. But I think it is there is not a single model can be used. It is based from case to case. As Mr. Kader mentioned, the global data is just going more and more. Like we are right now building a new data center, AI data center, together with NVIDIA in Armenia. And there is a huge demand for capacity. And this is the first time when we are looking to buy capacity and not to sell it. So again, I don't think that if we are talking about sea cables or terrestrial cables, there are pros and cons. Of course, sea cable is more stable. Of course, there are much less outages, but terrestrial cables are much faster to be built. For the last 4 or 5 years, we have been trying to deploy a new cable in the Black Sea. It's not a big secret, but because of some situations, for instance, the last situation between Russia and Ukraine, we cannot find any vessels to work in the Black Sea. So I always imagine and
same challenges in the Red Sea for the repair and the new cable layings, as it was mentioned by.
But the meantime, even with the war situation, we deployed 3 new cables with Russia going through to Europe. So
on terrestrial level.
Terrestrial cables. So if we are talking about the, I would say, which one is better, I think there is not an answer. Definitely, there always will be capacity which will be used by sea cables. It depends why, for what, and how fast you need it. So, and always will be capacity used for the terrestrial. If we are talking about the numbers, that you said that more than 50% of the capacity going through Armenia or through our network.
From Iran.
From Iran, yes. I would say this is because for the last 10 years plus, we have been, and for me, myself, I have been one of the promoters of the route, of Iran as an alternative route. I remember there has been many topics like, if it is safe, reliable, especially during this summer, we had this question many times, but again, our partners, they kept the belief, so we're still growing. We are making new connections. And when we were talking, when Maxim was talking, I remembered when I was a kid, I was asking to my father, that was Soviet Union. So I was asking him why Soviet Union and afterwards Russia had the smallest number of military vessels, comparing to other countries. And he was answering me because it's the biggest country in the world. If they want to hit someone, they can just hit from the land. They don't need anything. So this is your plus, Maxim. You have the capacity going from everywhere. And even in this route, all of us should somehow use your territory in your network. But to make the answer short, Madadijan, I believe that each of us has our own role, has our own responsibility, because, you know, for me, this is not just a business. It's something like a responsibility, because we are changing the countries, we are changing the culture. In the end, internet is changing many things. Good or bad, this is another question. It depends again from person to person. But I think that there will be many business models, not a single one, and there always will be terrestrial and sea cables used, both of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Basiryan. I know that the time is over for the session. Although it was short, but I think we had insightful discussions. Thank you from all the panelists and the members. I believe both questions need to be addressed properly. The significance of the route and the essentiality of this new route is proven. There is no doubt on it. But when it comes to pricing, when it comes to business model, when it comes to even the political aspects, we need to make sure that we are giving the same feeling of what the customers and what the market were used to get from the similar submarine product. And I think that is pretty much important to make sure that this route would be seen and would take up the traffic that we are expecting. Thank you very much. Thank you very much from the audience. I know that I cannot ask for questions because of the shortage in time. And thank you to the panelists for joining the session.